Hello and welcome to the Daily News Show. Once again, Chris Pajak here to talk through all of the daily news around Liverpool Football Club. We're going to talk Fekir again. We're going to talk Shaqiri. We spoke a little bit about him last night. If you've not seen that, the breaking news happened about 6 o'clock last night. Liverpool are interested in Shaqiri. We're going to talk about Oblak as well. Then we've got some news around Anfield and some planning permission stuff. And we've got some television rights news to talk through as well. So it promises to be a very interesting show. We're going to start with a Simon Hughes article at Simon_Hughes__. He works for The Independent, also a friend of the show. He's been on the Redmen TV loads of times. Really great journalist. And his title for his article that broke only 2 hours ago was Liverpool make significant progress on Nabil Fekir and Shaqiri deals as summer transfer plans kick on. Leon midfielder Fekir has indicated that his future only lies at Anfield, and with Shaqiri available for just 12 million, Liverpool are primed to see at least one new signing in the next 24 hours. Watch this space. If Simon Hughes is putting his sort of reputation on the line, I believe he thinks that that is the truth, as I do know Simon very well. As I say, he's a fantastic journalist. So basically the probability of at least one target being secured in 24 hours has increased dramatically, Simon says, while the club's chances of signing Fekir ahead of the World Cup became greater when Lyon's president accepted that the player only wishes to move to Anfield. Progress was also made on a deal for Shaqiri. Klopp has identified the need for 2 creative additions capable of functioning in a number of attacking positions. And what Simon actually goes on to say basically is that, you know, with Fekir wanting only to move to Liverpool, Jean-Michel Aulas is one of those well-known chief execs. He has been able to get value for his players over the last few years. He's very good at that in the transfer market. So if Liverpool want to get a deal through the door, there will be some kind of probably a bit of an addition to the fee in case he has a good World Cup. Now that's something that Aulas is very keen on apparently. He wants to secure good value for his player, and Fekir being one of his top draw players, even though they've got that replacement who's just signed a new 5-year deal, which we spoke about yesterday and the day before, he will know Fekir's value in this transfer market, and he will know the value after a good World Cup if he comes off the bench maybe for France and puts in a few star performances. So he'll be looking to extract as much value as possible out of this deal, especially if we were to sign him in the next 24 hours. Shaqiri's got a release clause. We spoke about that yesterday. It's between 12 and 13.5 million quid because Stoke got relegated. He's a guy who's only 26 years old, who works very hard, as we all know, who's got a bit of a very good left foot. You know, I nearly said a wonderful left foot. Maybe he has. You know, we all remember that overhead kick goal he scored in the last World Cup, I think it was, for Switzerland. Absolutely unbelievable goal. We know that he's a dribbler. He's a bit of a free kick taker. He can take corners as well. He'll be a great addition to this Liverpool squad as a backup. Now, if Jurgen Klopp was to tell me that he's going in the front 3, I'd have questions over this deal, but it seems to me like it's a little bit low risk. And the reason that Simon believes that Liverpool are going to be, you know, primed to make a signing in the next 24 hours is that over the weekend, Switzerland and France actually play. So if we want to get a deal done before the World Cup, this is our only window really. Other than that, it might be done after the World Cup. So yeah, it could be really an exciting 24 hours. But imagine if we get 2 deals done in 24 hours. I'll be like that. Go ahead, Mike Edwards. Absolutely brilliant work. And the rest of the team, of course, including the likes of Jurgen Klopp. So there we go. I mean, really exciting times, as I've said. Liverpool, though, have been priced out of a move for Jan Oblak as Atletico Madrid refused to buckle on 80 million plus valuation. That's David Maddock, who has completely taken over the James Pearce role as James Pearce from the Liverpool Echo. He's on holiday, missing all the action. I bet he'll be gutted. So Dave Maddox seems to be the guy who, you know, apart from this week, he's a very good journalist anyway. I've actually got him on the show tomorrow. I'm doing a Skype podcast with him exclusively for redmentv.com subscribers. He has been talking all about Oblak. He's been on the front line of the Fekir deal and the Shaqiri deals as well. So it's going to be a really good 20 to 30 minute discussion with David Maddock around Liverpool's transfer plans. So if you want to subscribe to Redmen TV, your first month is free. If you don't like it, fuck it off. You won't be charged a the penny. But that promises to be a really great podcast and a really informative podcast for Liverpool fans, especially at this time of the year. And if we can get a deal done today, we'll be talking about that as well with him. So yeah, Red's chief said the earmark the Slovenian international is the #1 target between the sticks this summer, but it looks like, you know, 80 million quid, and Liverpool have got a bit like, oh no, you're all right, that's a little bit too expensive. Personally, I'd do it. Personally, I think we need a top drawer goalkeeper. We're actually going to do a debate show, so I won't talk too much about this and about my views on it. Me on one side of the table, Tom on the other. Ben's going to be hosting the show. That'll be around lunchtime today. We're going to do that live. We're going to have two sides to the story. You know, me personally, I want to see someone like an Oblak and Alisson come in. Tom is sort of backing up Karius, but really to get the full views you need to watch the video. So that'll be around 12:30 today live. We'll be taking user comments, user questions as well, integrating that into the show. Promises to be a really great show. Done a lot of research on this topic, so we really know our stuff, not to blow our own trumpet too much. But yeah, basically he's got 3 more years on his contract. Atleti's response when we inquired about him this summer was a price in excess of 80 million quid, believed to be the release clause in his contract. Liverpool will simply refuse to pay that figure, more than double the current world record fee for a goalkeeper. So not great news if you're me and you want Oblak to come in. Not great news if you're a Liverpool fan and you want Oblak to come in. But back onto some news that broke last night. Ejaria has actually gone on loan to Rangers for the season with Steven Gerrard. So we can see here, Rangers have completed a loan deal for Liverpool midfielder Ejaria. Sport Times can reveal the 20-year-old has agreed a season-long switch to Ibrox to be reunited with former Reds coach Steven Gerrard. He obviously spent the second half of last season at Sunderland, has now made the switch to Glasgow to gain more first-team experience. I just want to wish Ejaria well. I think the way that this team has sort of moved in the last 12 months, it kind of feels like he's been left out and his development's kind of been stunted a little bit. So I'm really pleased that he can go and hopefully get some first team football up in the Scottish Premier League, again with a coach that trusts him and knows how to use him and knows hopefully how to get the best out of him and how to develop him. I mean, that was Steven Gerrard's job at the academy last season, wasn't it? It was obviously to win games, but it was also to develop these players and hopefully one day see them in the first team. So let's hope that Ejaria can continue his development under Steven Gerrard. And from me personally and all of us at Redmen TV, just want to wish Ejaria well and hope that you do Liverpool proud and do yourself proud as well. So something a little bit different. MoveCommercial.com. This is an article from them. I'm not normally on MoveCommercial.com, but Liverpool FC submit plans to host concerts at Anfield. Liverpool FC has submitted 2 planning applications to expand the use of Anfield Stadium for music concerts and a wide range of non-footballing sporting events. If given the green light, Liverpool could host up to 10 concerts or other events every year, mainly outside of the football calendar. The club says the application submitted to the City Council form part of plans to make the stadium a year-round destination. As part of the planning permission, the club would be allowed to host non-footballing sporting events, such as boxing, American football, Gaelic football, and would also be permitted to screen a wide range of football matches, including Reds away fixtures and international games. Now, I'm sure this has probably been in the pipeline for quite some time, but I do feel like the European Cup run and the screening at Roma, using the big screens in the screening for the final against Real Madrid has probably maybe accelerated this process in some way, because they've seen obviously there's a commercial opportunity and a viability to be able to host these Liverpool away games. I mean, I went to the first game of last season, the 3-3 draw with Watford, and I actually went to Anfield for it, and we watched it in one of the lounge. It was all right, it was on the tellies, but nowhere near was it as good as what it looked like for the Roma away game or the Real Madrid game in the Champions League final. It'd be good to see other stuff there as well. Obviously bringing things to Anfield isn't new. You know, there was a concert in the 90s there, and there's loads of other things, but it'd be great to go to Anfield during the off season and see other stuff, as long as the pitch isn't wrecked, and I'm sure they will think about that as well. So a little bit of different news there for you. And finally, another little bit of a different news story before we get into the comments. Premier League TV revolution as Amazon buys package of matches to launch threat against Sky Sports and BT Sport and add to mounting bills for fans. Now, That would apparently, according to Chris Williams, who's not actually the writer of this, you can see there at CG_Williams, confirmed Amazon has bought one of the remaining Premier League packages, announcement around lunchtime, and other things for fans to sign up to if they want all the matches. So Amazon is on the cusp of purchasing its first Premier League television rights. You'll see them pick up 20 domestic matches across 2 match days, which is a little bit nuts, isn't it? So they've either got like a bank holiday weekend, I believe, or a midweek fixture list that you can choose from. And I think, from what I'm reading, it'll be 10 matches screened at the same time, which would be mad. And why it would be a midweek match or why it would be a bank holiday broadcast is because you've not got the Saturday 3 p.m. rules, which means you could stream multiple games at once. That's what I'm reading into it. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but buying one of these will entitle Amazon to broadcast either 20 matches from one bank holiday and one midweek fixture programme, or 20 matches from 2 midweek fixture programmes, which says to me that the 10 matches are coming from one game day. That would be really interesting, something the Premier League's obviously not done before in the UK. So are we seeing that sort of digital revolution? Is this the end of Sky Sports coverage and BT Sports coverage, with Amazon, probably Facebook looking to get involved, maybe even Netflix looking to get involved in the sports arena? Who knows? But it's big, big news, and it broke about 10 minutes ago or something, so I included that in there. Tom, have you got anything to get me going on, maybe the Fekir or the Shaqiri stuff?
I do. To start with, though, Borton gave us 55 krona, saying, keep up the good work, lads, up the Reds. Thank you
so much, mate. What type of krona was it? Was it Icelandic? Is it Icelandic krona?
No, it was Norwegian krona.
Norwegian krona, okay.
So, Advenko says, Fekir only wants Liverpool because he knows the club is headed in the right direction.
Absolutely. That's right, and why wouldn't you? I mean, this is a guy who, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, you know, when you start talking about the Shaqiri stuff, you start thinking, well, he's a squad player. But I believe that we need 4 players of the level of our front 3 right now. Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino. That 4th player for me has to be on the same level as them, because if there's an injury or if we need squad rotation and it's a big game, you know, we might have a game against Manchester United at the weekend, we might have a Champions League group game midweek. We need to be able to field a strong side, whereas Shaqiri feels a bit more of a backup. Maybe your sort of weaker teams in the Premier League, maybe I'm giving them a bit of disrespect, to be honest, and maybe that's on me. Maybe your FA Cup early rounds or your League Cup or anything like that. But for me, it's about having quality all over the squad. I would like 5 or 6 players for those positions. Fekir can back up any of them. Your number 9 for Firmino, a false 9, either of the wingers, and then Shaqiri can probably back up either of the wingers as well. So very, very interesting times, and hopefully we'll get both deals done in 24 hours.
And then kind of going on to Shaqiri, Mosaic Seigel, I think, says, Shaqiri for 12 mil is an absolute bargain. 8 goals and 7 assists for a relegation side is incredible. Will be a great squad rotation for Salah.
Absolutely, agree 100% with that. I think it's really low risk. I think 12 million quid for a guy who's an international quality player, who did well in Stoke's relegation season. I think this one could be really smart business by Liverpool Football Club, and I've convinced myself that it is. I mean, the guy's tricky, he's got skills, he can take set pieces, and it looks like he wants to be part of this. I mean, yes, he was the main man for Stoke, absolutely. Yes, he was on the field all the time, but he wants to be part of something bigger, and he realises, just like Fekir, that there's a project at Liverpool Football Club right now, and that, you know, he can be a part of that, and a big part of that if he plays his cards right. He works hard on the field. I like that. You know, he seems like one of those guys who wants to be a part of something. He's not going to settle for the bench, which is exactly what you want from a squad player, and he knows that he's coming in as a squad player and is willing to fight tooth and nail for a position at Liverpool Football Club. Perfect.
So kind of 2 following on from each other. So William Skagoy gives us 20 Norwegian kroner as well.
Thank you very much, William.
He says, what about Leno as new goalkeeper? But following on from that, Maverick S says, why overpay for Oblak Allison when you can get Rui Patricio, I think he says, for free in the summer? On the head is worth that sort of cash period. We would just be filling another team's coffers. I think you could put Leno in there with Rui Patricio.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know much about these other two goalkeepers. I've heard, obviously, I've looked into Leno a little bit over the last sort of 24, 48 hours and stuff. I know absolutely nothing of the other guy that you have mentioned there. Apologies. I have a family. I have a busy life, and Liverpool is my passion, so Liverpool is what I follow, and obviously the Premier League because of that. So I don't know, but, you know, for me, and again, you know what, lads, and maybe one of them might have been a girl, I'm sorry. I think we should talk about this in the debate show later. I really do. I think that's the time and the place. You know, me and Tom will be talking about the goalkeepers in depth. We'll answer your goalkeeping questions later on. It's only going to be about an hour and a half before we go live for that. So let's talk about that later. Go on, mate. One more.
Johnny Walker says, the only concert I want at Anfield is the football we play and Pajak nude dancing. Is that
okay? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's cool. Like, but you know, I don't imagine they'd get much money out of the Pajak Nudes concert. I can't imagine there'd be many people that. I don't even think my wife would pay for a ticket for that, because why pay for what you get for free?
I've got a serious one for the last one. Advenko says, good move for Ejaria. He will develop under Gerrard.
I think that's right. I think, you know, the fact that Steven Gerrard wants him after working with him in the past, that's brilliant, and that'll fill Ejaria with confidence. And, you know, I don't believe that Gerrard would slight Liverpool Football Club in any way. I believe that if Gerrard wants to take a Liverpool player on loan, he will have something at the back of his mind that goes, it's in my best interest to develop these players, because they ultimately play for the club that I love. And the club have put a lot of trust in him to give him an opportunity in management, albeit the under-18s, under-19s in Europe, and then to be able to let him to go over to Rangers. Steven Gerrard will hopefully be thinking about managing Liverpool down the line. You don't sign a load of players off us and don't play them. It's almost the best fit for a loan deal, isn't it? Because Gerrard wants the best for Liverpool Football Club, and he wants the best for Rangers as well. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Listen, thank you so much to everybody who's joined in the comments. As I say, we will be back at 12:30 with the goalkeeper debate show. It promises to be lit. If I'm a bit too old to say that, but fire. Really good. It promises to be really good. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Redmen TV. If you hit that notification bell, you will be notified 10 minutes before we go live, so you can get into the comments, you can start the conversation, start getting your questions in there. As I say, we will be taking them, and you'll be notified every single time we go live. And if Liverpool news is what you're after, we got your back. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Redmen TV.